This is Luke, and I think I know how this one's going to go, as you can kind of see already. I've had Luke for forever, and I've let him get away with anything and everything that a horse shouldn't be getting away with all the time. So I have a feeling this might be amusing, but hopefully safe. This is going to be a terrible example, but here we go. Let's see how Luke reacts to carrots in the pocket, and how much he bugs me, and how much I tolerate it. And yeah. There we go. All right, here we are with Luke. And I'll preface again that activities like this can be dangerous. Do it with caution. I'm doing this with an incredible amount of caution, even though it looks rather casual. But Luke has been around for a long time. I've had him for a very long time. And you can see how close I let him be, how he can nudge my arm, and he's pushing me. He's literally using his nose to sort of push me. But I've had him since he was 2 or 3. And I guess 7 or 8 years now for sure. I remember correctly. He does a lot of sniffing. See, you can still see him pushing my body, just nudge, nudge, try to get some attention. But the posture of him is far. He really is reaching with his neck and head to get there. He's not coming in with his full body or shoulders or anything yet. Sure is funny how every horse that I've done this with has taken the opportunity to sort of get something out of their teeth or something like that. Something that I don't think I've ever properly either appreciated or noticed in my time with horses. There you can see I had to give him a warning. He had gotten in a little too close. I'll talk about it later, but he just barely done enough that I just had too much. And I talk about it a bit at the end, but my time with Luke has always been very fun and enjoyable. We've spent a lot of time doing things right, doing things wrong, making mistakes, coming back to things, fixing things, and we've been all over the place. There's one time I took him on this trip up into the mountains, and we went down this weird trail. I don't know what got into me, but we ended up on almost an edge of a cliff, and I was, what is this? Where does this go to? And some hikers had come up the way. And they said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I don't know. I think we need to turn around." We've been everywhere. It's fantastic. And so this video itself is actually, it's just typical Luke. He stays close, he sniffs, he knows. He's checking in on Roni, who's next to us. I'll talk about that later, because he's right next to Roni. And yeah, he's always been like this. He's always been just very curious. He's safe. I don't think I have ever felt like he's going to bite or kick me. He is one of those horses that is just perfectly amicable, comfortable. He'll check things out. He'll wonder. He'll be close. He'll demand some scratches and stuff. And this stuff here, I had to keep at normal speed, and you can see he just gets in right next to my cheek and my ear, and he sort of bumps my shoulder there a little bit. And all these little tiny movements do add up. I mean, he's already been warned. He knows not to go too far, but he's still just on that edge, and he sort of creeps along it like a tightrope walker, and just keeps checking. And it's so itchy. If you ever had a horse breathe in your ear, their whiskers sort of brush by your face. It's like a feather. Just, yeah, it's light, soft, and incredibly itchy. So I wouldn't say I was getting bored, but I knew that he really wouldn't do anything. So I thought, well, how about we just sort of press into his space and see what he does? And he steps back, and that's really good. This is a really peaceful back and forth that you can have with animals. We've done tons of this stuff. Him and I have done a heck of a lot of groundwork. And a lot of it is about how space is defined. And that's what this series is about, is how to define our space with horses, and how can you do it in a way that doesn't make them leave in fear or worry. They can be with you, they can feel safe, and you can feel safe. This takes a bit of time. I'm not saying go ahead and do this on some brand new horse, but figuring out whether or not our space matters, what we do matters. Does it matter to them? How will they react? These things are all important. I wasn't expecting any trouble with Luke. In fact, what I was expecting, I think other people are expecting him to be a lot more touchy-feely. But more or less, he just seemed like he just wanted to, are there really carrots in there? It's not any different than the carrot and cup trick that I had him do. All horses have incredibly good senses of smell. They can sort out where things are, and he's just going back and forth and back and forth. What did kind of bother me a little bit was how much he kept bumping my hat with either his nose or his ears. And I just thought, he just doesn't care. It's not safe. I wouldn't say this stuff is safe. You never know. I wouldn't do this in the summertime when there's flies around. You never know how they're going to move their head. You get knocked in the chin or the nose, so be cautious. Not put these videos up so people can go out and be dangerous. I really want to say that, but most of his time is just spent wondering where my hands are and wondering where the carrots are. And I didn't have a problem with that. I didn't feel like he was really pressing in or bothering me, and every time I sort of moved into him, he'd step back. And as I do, I tend to engage near the end of this, and I'm taking this slower here, this part, because he's so animated with the left and right, and you can see we both kind of look off. I think Lena had called out, or somebody had called out. We both looked. And then this is a little thing that him and I do probably too much. I wouldn't say it's the best idea, but he'll rest his chin on my shoulder. Sometimes for a lot more time than that, but I guess Roni had come over and he's got to tell him off. But he'll rest his head on my shoulder, he'll rest his head on my shoulder a little bit and just take a little bit of the weight off, and then I'll rub his neck and stuff. And it's actually a great position to do massage if you're in a safe condition. So I walk off, he follows me. He's still kind of wanting to hang around. And in the end, I think I summarize what I get out of this shortly here, but I really got out of it a lot more I had more time to think about me. Like, what am I thinking and doing? Am I relaxed? Is this cool? So there's Luke. I'm a little bit worried because Roni is right here. Because he's just about to get the camera. So he hasn't yet, but I think he's thinking about it. Luke, whenever I do these, I find myself really thinking more and more about what I feel or what I'm thinking, how I'm reacting. Am I holding my breath? Am I getting tense? Am I relaxing? Am I releasing? Am I paying attention? Am I not paying attention? Am I able to completely tune out and feel good? Or do I feel like I'm in a little bit of danger? These two talking to each other is something else. I gotta tell you that. And with Luke, it has been a very different experience, I think. And one of the things that I find myself feeling is more amusement. And then there's a switch that kind of flicks. And that switch is, I'm in business mode now. So right now I'm in funny mode. I can feel it in myself. I can feel myself utterly amused by their actions, their chitty chat. He keeps telling Roni to go away. Roni doesn't go away. He doesn't care. He's right here. He doesn't care at all. Right? Luke talks to him, and then Roni just says, I don't care. And what's Luke doing? Luke's saying, well, these are my carrots. There's carrots here. I want my carrots. For sure. So during the amusing part, I tended to kind of let him goof off a little bit more until finally he started to use his lips a bit. And I just thought, no. And I gave him that one warning. And from that point forward, he's been great. Now, Luke knows when business time is business is business, but playtime is playtime. He's really sorted that out, like that communication. And when he can play, when he can't play, which I think what I find really makes him just such a really cool horse to meet new horses and introduce to them what kind of goes on around here. Oh God, it's so ticklish when they get to the side of your face or your ears or something like that. Those whiskers just sort of, oh, it's so itchy. It makes a big deal if you bring your hands out. I think he's a little lost that my hands are missing. They're in my pockets. I think there's a little bit of that there. He's very inquisitive. He's trying. But again, like all the horses, they don't do things so far I've yet to have where I've proper felt in danger. I'm more irritated or annoyed than anything. Just stop bugging me. Don't nag me. I don't want to nag you. I'll tell you one time. And they sort of sort that out until you kind of get into playful mode, and then they know a little bit more. But it's only the only reason I can get into playful mode is because I know that I can say, hey, that's enough. And he'll be like, all right, that's enough. Until he gets a sign from me next that, oh, it's playtime. Playtime's on again. Which is kind of how he acts around other horses. So hopefully this has been a little bit interesting. I think the next horse to try out is Mr. Wild. I don't think Roni's going to be as interesting, lively. We'll do him last because I think there'll be some real subtle points to kind of pay attention with him. We'll do Mr. Wild next and see how he acts. Luke agrees, so that's good. And see what kind of... Get it, buddy. It's got something stuck in there. It's quite common when a horse has something stuck in their mouth. They'll move around and they'll cough a little to see if they can shake it loose. You almost got it. Everybody's got something stuck in their teeth. So, there you go. The end, I guess. Good job, buddy. You did really well. Would you like a carrot? Because you did so well. Whoa. Careful now. Oh. Roni, should you get one without earning it, do you think? You've just come over and shown your face? I guess so. I have to go to the other pocket though. I'm all out of carrots in that pocket. There you go, buddy. But we'll do Roni on another day. Because it's cold and I got a million things to do. So that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. Any questions, let me know.